My name's Jerome Malla. I'm a neuroscientist and MRI clinical science specialist for General Electric Healthcare. I've been in the position for about 5 years. Previous to that, I was an academic in the department of Monash University, based at the Alfred Hospital, for around 10 years. So for about the last 15 years, I've been focusing on advanced MRI, specifically diffusion imaging in the context of concussion, or what some people call mild traumatic brain injury. So from the GE perspective, it all started with the GE NFL Head Health Challenge. It was a $100 million US partnership, and it was an open innovation challenge to study mild TBI. The Challenge 1 was methods for diagnosis. Challenge 2 was the mechanics of injury. Many submissions and hundreds of subjects were scanned, mostly sports people, football players, and healthy control subjects. A major outcome was the development of new MRI technology with a focus of detection on mild TBI, and this led to the GE Signa 3 Tesla Premier. So the developments are focused towards a study of concussion. It has to have a higher gradient amplitude, as this equates to a higher resolution whilst maintaining signal-to-noise ratio. It also has to have a wide bore opening, as the person has to be comfortable without the feeling of being confined. The hardware was completely redesigned to provide this higher gradient strength while also reducing its heating. By using this new hollow, water-cooled gradient design, the MR scanner is far more efficient and can maintain homogeneity for longer exams. But importantly, it also produces less vibration than typical 3 Tesla MRI scanners, which makes the experience a lot more comfortable, especially during scans such as functional MRI and diffusion imaging. This new technology is particularly important for the study of concussion, where damage is likely to be neuronal microstructure. That is, the new technology can provide images of very high resolution, and it can do it fast. Typically, brain MR scans of people suspected with concussion do not show anything clinically significant, and that's because the damage, if present, is likely to be smaller than what we can see on the scan. So by imaging smaller voxels, that is, higher spatial resolution, we can see the brain in more detail. So if the damage is in fact present, we have a greater probability of actually detecting it. New software was developed, which we call SignaWorks. NeuroWorks is an example. And here are some examples of some very high quality data being produced from the 3T Signa Premier scanner. You can use hypersense, compressed sensing, higher resolution in a shorter amount of time. Here's an example of using hypersense on a 3D time-of-flight, which we call a TOF. This is using our newly developed 48-channel dedicated brain coil. If there are very subtle regions of microscopic damage, then these will be detected using this combination of advanced hardware and software. T2 flare and dual inversion recovery, which we call DIR. MP rage, MUSE, an advanced diffusion technique with minimal EPI-induced distortion. Hyperband, which is acquiring multiple slices simultaneously. Magic, many contrasts in a single scan in around 5 minutes. Susceptibility weighted imaging. Resting state functional MRI, beautiful detail of the orbits using Hypercube T2 FSE. We can also acquire scans using Silent Scan, which is regular conventional contrast, but at only a few decibels above ambient noise level. We achieve all of this using our unique air Inca coils. So instead of the conventional acid-etched heavy copper coils, we started from scratch. These are very lightweight and extremely flexible. They've been extensively tested for flexibility, wrapping, even squashing. Here's an example of some diffusion tensor imaging, showing the white matter connections throughout the brain. These data were acquired using the whole brain 48-channel air coil in a Sigma Premiere. DTI is a technique widely used to investigate whether there is any damage to microstructure after concussion. Here's another example. Note the very high level of detail and contrast, with the white matter going right up to the grey matter gyral crowns, as we can see in this image here, and a lack of EPI-induced distortion in regions especially that may be damaged after concussion, including the brainstem, the frontal lobe, and the temporal lobe. There is growing awareness that concussion often extends to beyond the brain, to also include the heart. We now have technology which we call ViosWorks, which is aimed at optimizing the imaging of the heart in real time with high resolution in a multidimensional fashion. This technology allows visualization of cardiac function, morphology, vascular flow. It allows us to image the whole heart in only a single breath hold. But where the technology really takes us is into the realm of 4D flow, a new way of looking at the heart, based on visualization of the direction and the speed of blood flow, plus in high resolution. And the time from image acquisition to image visualization can be in the order of only a few seconds. We can measure parameters such as flow, vessel diameters, pressure gradients, speed, and essentially this can be achieved in a single scan. So if there are cardiac implications as a result of concussion, then they are likely to be detected using this technology. Here are some visual examples of 4D flow. We also have a compact 3 Tesla MRI scanner. Head only, extremely high slew rate, which means faster scans with less noise. Only 12 litres of helium, so no quench pipe is required. The gradients are 80 amplitude and a huge 700 slew rate. It's very light as well, and it's easy to sight. This is a very high resolution DTI, 273 directions at 3 different B values. This is a very high resolution scan. So if there is microstructural damage to white matter fibres, which are often stretched and therefore damaged as a result of concussion, then this is likely to be detected using this technology. This really is a breakthrough in image quality. Using deep learning, the technology recognizes true signal from a noisy signal and uses only the true signals for image reconstruction. Here are some examples of Air Recon DL, where the improvement of the image quality is quite clear. So again, if there is suspected damage as a result of concussion, then it is vital that not only can we image at very high resolution, but that we also have the highest image quality possible if we are to detect any possible damage. This is imperative, both cross-sectionally as well as longitudinally at follow-up.